Hello and welcome to another video, and today is going to be a different kind of video. I've never done a video like this before, partially because I usually don't buy my video games in bulk, and I debated on how I wanted to do this video. I was thinking about, do I do a pickup video at everything I've picked up this summer? Do I do it for just a month? How do I want to do this? This is just going to simply be what I picked up this would be 2 weeks ago now. I went to an all-night flea market that happens once a year in the area that I live in. I go every year. I usually take about $100. I took $100 this year. I just buy stuff that I'm interested in. I've been doing this a couple years now, and I've noticed more and more every year there are more and more video game vendors there. Now some are good, some are cool, some are willing to, you know, deal with you and are genuinely nice people. Other people there are assholes. It is what it is. So anyways, this is gonna be a video chronicling what I purchased there. I don't usually like to buy anything that's above the original Xbox or PS2 at flea markets because, genuinely speaking, I can always get better deals elsewhere. So I didn't pick up anything like an Xbox 360 game or anything like that. This was all strictly older platforms than that. Right now, for me personally, the way I'm collecting games, there's 3 platforms I really care about right now in collecting. It is Game Boy Advance, which I found no Game Boy Advance games I was interested in at this flea market. It's Super Nintendo, and it's the original Xbox. I have a real passion right now for collecting for the original Xbox. Partially because of that Xbox original backwards compatibility being announced for the Xbox One, and partially because earlier this summer I was able to get original Xbox that I've always wanted, which is the Master Chief Green Limited Edition Xbox. And I got a really good deal on it. And I wanted to boost up my original Xbox collection. You know, right now, as you can see on my shelf, it starts about here. It's not very long, and I wanted to get more games. I more than doubled my collection going to this flea market. I got some really good deals. So before we start in that, we'll start with a couple Super Nintendo games that I got. And I'm gonna try and tell you how much I paid for them, but honestly, it's been 2 weeks. I don't remember on everything. Some of these games I bought as a bunch, so I got better deals, and I'll try to point that out when I can. So first game I picked up, this was actually free. I bought in a group of games. The guy threw this game in for free because it was something that was just in the stack of stuff I wanted. And he's like, you know what, you're already spending X amount. You can have that one for free. This game is the Super Nintendo. I'm gonna try and stand a little bit closer here. Super Nintendo game Populous. So I got this game for free. Pretty cool. Always a fan of free stuff. Next game on my list, I paid 10 bucks for this. Always wanted this game. Interesting RPG for the Super Nintendo. Remember playing a little bit of it as a kid. Looking forward to at some point sitting down and doing something with it. That is Lagoon. Finally, this is a game I've never seen a physical copy of out in the wild ever, and this guy had it for $10 as well at his booth, and I thought it was a really good deal. Never seen it before out in the wild other than when I was a kid at the rental stores, and this is a game called Weapon Lord for Super Nintendo. Wanted to own it, got it, pretty excited about that. That wraps up these Super Nintendo games. The next games I got were all original Xbox. Unfortunately, 3 of the games I bought in this lot didn't work. One of them I replaced, which is Dead to Rights, and I'll get to that story when we get to it. And the thing about this flea market, as opposed to just any old normal flea market, is it's all night. And it takes place on some campgrounds in the area that I live in. And the point of it is you're supposed to bring a flashlight, and it's lit, but not the best. There are indoor buildings on these campgrounds and stuff that some of the flea market is in, but not all of it. You have to be careful deciding, you know, looking at stuff and deciding. Fortunately, I wasn't too careful with some of these games, and I got a little burned. Oh well. So the first 2 games I have here, one is actually a really interesting story, and the other one just didn't work. Unfortunately, this first one, I paid... Trying to peel this awful sticker off the front of it here. First one I paid 3 bucks for. Unfortunately, the disc is scratched to hell. Didn't really pay attention, and it's a real bummer because I was really looking forward to owning this game. I've been looking for it for a while. Is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2X. Now this was the Xbox original version of that game that launched day and date with the original Xbox, and it has levels from Tony Hawk 1 and 2 in it. This is a fascinating game, and this was the only version they made like this for the original Xbox. Unfortunately, the disc doesn't work. It's whatever. This next one, I'm kind of kicking myself a little bit more for because I kind of did one of these where you open it, you look inside, and you're like, yep, looks good, and that's whatever. And I didn't realize that the disc inside this case was not the game that I wanted, and I paid 10 bucks for this, and that is Time Splitters 2. Now, I already own Future Perfect for the original Xbox. It is probably my favorite game for the original Xbox. Played hours and hours of that game. I wanted to own a copy of Time Splitters 2 for the machine. So when I opened this, I looked at it, right on the disc, Time Splitters, good, we're good to go. Bought it, got home, realized the disc in here was actually Future Perfect. So I had a second copy of Future Perfect, and I ended up just giving it to a friend. But now I have the case for this game and no game, so I need to hunt down a disc-only copy of it on Amazon or eBay or something, and I'll do it at some point. Now, these next group of games I didn't actually get at the flea market, but these were actually purchased. A buddy of mine was out shopping at Half Price Books. Half Price Books is a really awesome store. Primarily, it is a secondhand bookstore, but they also sell video games, music, movies, board games, even a lot of stuff secondhand, video games obviously included. So he was there, he texted me, was like, hey, is there anything is there anything you're looking for? And I told him, like, right now I'm into buying original Xbox games. Sent me a picture of the shelf, and I picked these four out. I think I paid a total of $20 for them. Thought it was a pretty good deal. All of them work. They're all tested, and I'm pretty happy about them. First one, of course, is Mercenaries for the original Xbox. Excited to get this. Second one is Gauntlet 7 Sorrows. Excited to have that too. Third one is a game I already owned for PS2, but it was one of my favorite games of that generation, and I wanted the Xbox version of it as well. That is PsyOps the Mind Gates Conspiracy. This is a fantastic game, and I urge anybody that's a fan of PlayStation 2 or Xbox to go out and get this game. And finally, the original Mech Assault. I never actually played any of the Mech Assault games, so I'm excited to own that now. Now, this next game here was the third game I bought that was an error at the flea market, and I actually was able to go out. I actually was able to go on Amazon and find a disc-only copy of it for about $2.50. And being I paid $3 for this, I was like, whatever, not a big deal. They actually sent me the case and manual, even though the description like clearly stated it was disc only, so whatever. That game is the original Dead to Rights. So I'm happy to own a full complete copy of this game with a disc that works. That's pretty cool. Now, these next two games I bought in a lot. This was the same lot that got me the free copy of Populous, and it also got me some of these other games you're gonna see, but these two games specifically I saw sitting on this guy's booth. I knew I had to have them because they were in excellent condition, and they're two original Xbox games I want to own, and I'm really hoping these games come to the Xbox backwards compatibility because they are both Xbox original exclusive games. That is both of the Otage games. So I got both of those. I've never played either of these games. They're kind of third-person action-adventure games. Looking forward to diving into these at some point. Really excited about it. I got a good deal. I think between these, the Super Nintendo games I bought from that guy, and a couple other games, I spent a grand total of $40 in this guy's booth. I feel just for these two games alone, good deal. The other big mistake I made at this flea market, I track my collection pretty heavily on my phone, but sometimes you forget to add stuff in there. However, in this situation, I actually picked up a copy of this and purchased it from a different booth, forgot about it, and then found a better condition copy at a different booth and bought it again for the same price. And then when I got home, I realized I had two copies of it, so I just gave it to my buddy, whatever. That game is Genma Onimusha. So this is a remastered kind of Xbox port of the PlayStation 2 original game. Excited to own this. Someone else's booth, I got a copy of the original, actually this game never came out on anything else. This was a launch title for the Xbox. Pretty fun game called Blood Wake. It's kind of like Wave Race meets Twisted Metal. It's a pretty cool game. Excited to own that. This next one's a pretty interesting game. It says I paid $5 in here. Because I bought this in a bundle, I think I paid half of that. This game was touted as the next Mortal Kombat. It was an Xbox exclusive game. It's not a terrible fighter. It was kind of panned at the time it came out. I don't think it's that bad, but if I had to pick a fighting game right now, I'd probably rather play Mortal Kombat than this game. That is Tao Fein Fist of the Lotus. The thing that was cool about this game is it had bruising and muscle damage, and that's something you never really saw in fighting games, but this was a cool Xbox exclusive game. And the final game I have for this pickups video is a game that I actually did sit down and play, and I think it's just utter garbage, but for collecting purposes, I own it. Now this game I paid $3 for. That is Driver 3. Now I was excited about getting this copy of Driver 3. I had never played Driver 3. I'm a big fan of Driver 1 and Driver 2. Thought they were really cool games on the original PlayStation. So when they made this PS2 and Xbox version, and they got actual voice actors like Michael Madsen involved in the project, I was excited about it. For whatever reason, I just never got around to playing it. This game is horrendous. Its driving is okay, but there's too much on-foot action. All the shooting mechanics and the out-of-car controls are awful. I played about an hour of this game and said, I'm out, and it'll just sit on my shelf forever, so not a good game. Anyways, guys, it's what I picked up at the flea market. Thought I'd make a quick video about it. Overall, this was what I spent about $100 on, and I felt I got a good, actually, I brought $100 with me. I spent $80. And that other $20 went to those 4 games my buddy got over at Half Price Books. So overall, I think it was $100 well worth spent. I got a lot of good games that I didn't have before. Made some mistakes. Some stuff unfortunately didn't work, and I hope to replace that, but I felt I got my money's worth this year at the flea market. But I always enjoyed going to the flea market. I always enjoy talking to the people that are there and stuff. I love seeing the deals and stuff. The one other thing I bought at the flea market that's not pictured in this video, I might throw up a picture of it while I'm describing it, but I was wearing a Twin Peaks shirt. Obviously, I'm a huge Twin Peaks fan. And usually every year that I go to this flea market, there's a post. This guy's literal business is called Poster Guy. And he has posters of everything. That's how you saw in my videos the Friday the 13th poster I have. I've gotten over the years a couple posters from this guy. He wasn't there this year, and that was really disappointing because I was actually looking for a Twin Peaks poster. However, there was another artist there that had a lot of interesting prints, and he noticed my Twin Peaks shirt, and he's like, you're a huge Twin Peaks fan, I take it? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I have some prints from Twin Peaks. So I was looking through his booth and everything. He had a really cool Agent Cooper, obviously my favorite character from Twin Peaks, print, and I picked that up for about $10. And those are the kind of things where, like, yeah, you look at it and you go, this probably isn't really worth $10, but then you think, this person had to sit down and draw this and design this art. So for $10, whatever, and for the sheer fact that the guy noticed my Twin Peaks shirt, I thought that was pretty cool. So I felt okay spending $10. So that was the only other thing that's not really pictured in this video that I got. I think it's pretty cool, and I was excited about it. Had a blast at the flea market. I always do. Pickup videos aren't something I'm going to regularly do on this channel because I don't get a lot of stuff all the time. And, I collect stuff. Obviously, I'm a collector, and I have, games and stuff, but I always kind of stick to a system or two rather than just going out and collecting everything all the time. So for those purposes, pickup videos are probably going to be very limited to every couple of months on this channel, but I want to take time to post, the cool shit that I got at the flea market. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you like pickup videos. Tell me if you want me to do more pickup videos, and leave a comment, like, share, subscribe to the channel, and as always, until next time.